everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Caitlin, and fun fact about me, I'm getting married, and you probably know that because you clicked on this video. So I decided that I wanted to make some wedding ears. I consider myself a pretty crafty person, and when I was looking online for wedding ears, there just wasn't really any that I wanted. And I kind of wanted something very specific. I didn't want anything with a veil. I didn't want anything too out there. I kind of just wanted something really simple because my whole outfit's gonna be kind of bridal anyways. We're going to Disney after the wedding, and I wanted to just go all out in bridal gear because it's totally not like me. I don't usually go all out with that kind of stuff, but you know, it only happens once. So I figured going to Disney, I wanted to kind of wear the shirt, the button, and the ears. So if you clicked on this video, you are wanting to know how to make these babies. So I made these ears. They're just like white and silver sparkly ears, and I really love how they turned out. So if you want to know how to make these ears, then let's go ahead and roll on the video.
Okay, so first we're going to start out with some foam board, and I actually got this from the dollar store, and then something to trace your ears with. I just like to use a pair of Disney ears that I already own. These are from an Etsy shop, and I just like the size of them, so I'm using that to trace my circles, and you're going to trace 4 of these. Once you've drawn your 4 circles, you're going to go ahead and take an Xacto knife or whatever kind of cutting utensil you have. You can use scissors, but I find it the easiest to use an Xacto knife because it's going to give you that perfect edge that you're looking for and not something that's kind of uneven. And once all of my circles are cut out, I am just taking my Xacto knife and I am just trimming up the edges because obviously some of them have gotten a little jagged, so I'm just kind of cleaning it up a little bit. When you are satisfied with the way your 4 circles look, you're going to go ahead and get your hot glue gun ready. This DIY project is definitely hot glue heavy, so I hope you have one on hand. But you're going to take 2 of the circles and just go ahead and glue them together nice and tight. When you've finished gluing together your 2 ears, you're going to go ahead and take your Xacto knife again and just kind of trim it up to make them look even. One ear might be slightly bigger than the other one. You just kind of want to make them a little bit more cohesive before we do anything else. And of course, if you have like a Cricut or any kind of machine or cutting utensil like that, you'll be able to get a better even cut. But for everyone else who just needs to use an Xacto knife, you're going to have to be able to trim it pretty good to get it the round you want. When you are satisfied with the roundness of your circles, you're going to go ahead and line the 2 ears up against the headband. I got mine from Joann Craft Store, but you can also get them from Hobby Lobby or Walmart, and these are pretty comfy headbands. And then you're just going to trace out where you want to cut the semicircle at, and that is where your ears are going to sit on top of the headband. After I've cut my first semicircle, I usually just place that one on top of the other one to get the second line. That way I can make sure they're as even as possible, and you can always go back and trim it up more if it doesn't fit the headband correctly. To make my ears stand out, I chose this like felt fabric type of deal. I'm not exactly sure how you would describe this, but I got this from Hobby Lobby in the craft section. It was super inexpensive, and I think it just gives that perfect like bridal glam look because it's really sparkly, and you can kind of zoom in on the back to see where or what I picked out. But for this, I am actually using this lotion container to trace out my circles just because it's a little bit bigger than the ears that I cut out before, and I kind of want it to be a little bit bigger so I can shape it as I go. You don't want it to end up being too small, so I'm just using this for a more even circle. To cut out these circles, it's much easier to use scissors than the Xacto knife, so that is what I am doing in this clip right here. And rather than bore you with me cutting out circles, because I'm pretty sure you guys probably know how to do that, I'm going to go ahead and cut to the next clip and not bore you with cutting out all 4 circles on this. And just like that, we have our 4 sparkly little circles. So you're going to go ahead and take those circles and just kind of line them up with the foam piece so that you can draw out your little semicircle and cut it out, and just kind of make sure you place it to where you want, since we did make the circles a little bit bigger than the foam pieces. And then you can just cut those out with scissors. Now it is time for some hot glue. I'm pretty sure the rest of this DIY is just hot gluing things, but you're going to take your foam piece and hot glue it to the fabric pieces that you just cut, and you want to make sure that there's a lot of hot glue because you're going to be wearing these in the parks, and you want to make sure they are nice and secure. And if your fabric is any bigger than your ears, that's okay. You can just go ahead and go back and trim them up to even them out. For this project, I chose this really pretty, almost iridescent ribbon to put around the ears just to hide the 2 foam pieces. You want to cut them out to the foam ear size. Okay, if you cut them out a little bit bigger, because then you can just trim them at the end. But for this one, it actually frayed out a lot, and so what I did was take a little bit of clear nail polish to put on the end so that it wouldn't fray out while I was trying to hot glue it. And then you're just going to start by putting a little dollop at the end and kind of gluing it piece by piece. You don't want to put all the hot glue on at once. That way you can make sure it's pulled nice and taut and make sure it's all even. So I'm kind of just gluing it in sections. Now we are finally on to making our Mickey headband. So you're just going to take your 2 foam ears and kind of place them on the headband where you know you're going to want them. I kind of like mine not too close together, but also not too far away. I just kind of eyeballed it, and then you can always go back and just kind of reposition it while the hot glue is still tacky. It's bow time! So typically I would make my own bows, but I was kind of in a rush with this one. It was very close to my wedding, so I actually just bought this one from Hobby Lobby. If you want to know how to make your own bows, you can check out one of my older videos, but here I am just hot gluing it on. And I also like to hot glue some of the corners of the bow just to make sure that it's extra secure and it lasts all day. I kept the clip on the back of the bow just because I couldn't get it off, but if you wanted to, you can always take that off if you buy a pre-made bow. And there you have it. I was so excited with how these bridal ears turned out. They were so comfy to wear to the parks all day, and I hope you enjoyed them and try them out. Let me know if you do, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you real soon.